Hello and welcome to Silly Point. Today we're going to start with Pakistan versus South Africa review. As you can see, we have one of our old members back.
Hey guys.
Pakistan's victory has dragged Uzair back onto the Silly Point platform. So, and of course, we've got our regular pundit G in the house. So today we're going to discuss the Pakistan-South Africa test match, player ratings, see what went wrong, what went good, and what changes both teams can expect for the next test. So let's just get straight into it. Do we start with South Africa? I think it'll be quicker. Pakistan, I think we'll have a bit more debate.
Let's start with that. Sounds good.
Okay, so let's start with, let's do the player ratings and then we'll discuss all the nitty gritty, whatever changes as we go along.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dean Elgar.
He was probably the highlight for them, right? He played pretty well. He gave them a decent start in both the innings. So I think I would probably give him a 7 on 10.
5.
Huh? You got a 50 in the
He
first
got a 50,
innings?
yeah, okay, fair enough. 6 maybe. He got a 50. You expect more from a senior player, right? He's been around. He's been South Africa's best batsman over the last 4 or 5 years, and you expect him to,
No, but on a difficult start, like he kind of did his job. Like he gave them a good start in the first innings.
6. I think 6 is fair. He did his job.
Yeah.
Doing your job is a 6.
Okay, chalo. 6 is fine.
6,
for him,
yeah. Markram?
Well, by the same token, then Markram doesn't get more than a 6, does he?
Well, he should also get a 6 or maybe a 7 just by virtue of him, batting 224 deliveries in the second innings.
Of course. As we know now, playing balls is a very key metric now. So.
Exactly. For test matches.
In the third innings, when they are under pressure, they are like obviously starting with a 150 runs behind Pakistan, and they needed to kind of recover that lead. So he did that. He got them to 150 per 1.
Yeah.
And I think he did really well in that. And after that, they collapsed. They lost 9 wickets for like 70 odd runs.
Yeah.
So I think I would give him at least a 7. He did really well in the second innings.
Yeah. 7.
Give them
7
that
for
like
Markram,
74.
and then same for Van der Dusen. Pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, I think nothing much in the first innings, and then played pretty well in the second innings. Looks a decent player in Asian conditions as well. So good outcome for South Africa for him to get some runs under his belt.
Yeah. So 7 for Van der Dusen. Faf, very disappointing. I think if you look at judge him by his standard, probably a 2 or a 3 really.
Yeah.
I think he's the most senior batsman in the team, he is a class batsman. So I think I was really disappointed.
He almost got dismissed twice by Yasir Shah. Very close LBW shout, and then he was out in the next over anyway.
I mean,
I think he got like start in both innings. He got about 20, 30 balls, and then like after that, you at least expect him to go on and score some runs, at least in one of the innings. So I would not give him more than a 2.5.
Yeah, I mean, people talk about his masterful defensive innings that he played against Australia and Adelaide in 2000.
That was 10 years ago, 8 years ago.
That was, but it's always quoted as an example, as an inspiration. Recently, Ashwin quoted it as an inspiration. So even if he would have gone on and played like 50% of that innings, might have made things a little more interesting. So yeah, 2 or 3 is fine with me.
2.
Because they did again got a good start. They were 150 by 1. Even if he had scored a 50 and taken the South Africa lead to around 150, you could have expected a much closer contest.
Yeah, agreed. Anything could have happened.
Especially given Pakistan's chasing record. Anyway, so QDK, I think similar. Very disappointing.
Yeah.
No, I would say even worse, because given that he's the captain, I think he dropped a couple of matches. Very poor DRS reviews by him.
Yeah.
And I was really disappointed with some of his like bowling changes, especially when they took the second new ball in that first innings, and they gave the ball to like pehle to pata nahi kisko Makram se ball karwa rahe hain, Maharaj. If they are the new ball, they should be putting in Rabada and Nagiri or Notre from both fast bowlers from both the ends. Right? So I was really disappointed. I would not give him more than a 1.
Also in the last innings, the fourth innings when Pakistan were 20 for 2, he should have brought Maharaj in to Babar Azam straight away. Because and then he got him out when they needed 4 runs. I mean, if Pakistan were 20 for 3 at that time, or 25 for 3. Knowing Pakistan, they could have panicked it. So,
but yeah, I think a 1.
1.
1.
Yeah. 1 is fine. Bavuma.
Again, he had a good second innings.
Yeah, I mean, he was the only one who hung in there with the tail. But nothing exceptional. Again, 4.
5.
4.
Yeah.
But I think one thing with me, like I think batting position should be higher than QDK, because I think was
Agreed.
उस वाले second inning में भी I think because of that night watchman वो महाराज ऊपर आ गए, so he came in at what, number 7 or
7.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, they are kind of
Nahin,
wasting
but
him.
it's a waste of having Bavuma bat at 6 and play with the tail all the time. It's not his
Exactly.
game. I don't know what South
Especially
Africa are
the pure
thinking.
batsman should be coming at 5, and
Yeah,
QDK is
yeah,
not doing well at that position.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
think they should need to swap those two around.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll probably give him a 4.
Yeah.
5, yeah, 4 is fine.
5. 4. Let's agree with the 4. Linde.
Linde was okay.
Yeah, I mean, he started off. He was the only one who kind of held the innings together when the England in South Africa were collapsing.
Yeah,
In the first innings, right? He got
Yeah.
a 30 something.
yeah, he got a 30 odd.
But with the ball, I mean, not threatening enough, I think.
Yeah,
So what is he? Is he a batting all-rounder?
he's a bowling all rounder.
Yeah, he's a bowling all-rounder.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, then he's pretty disappointing. His bowling was not threatening.
I mean, to be fair, like they shouldn't have played him. I mean, Shamsi should have played, was a proper spinner.
Well,
But
Shamsi
anyways,
was
that's a different
injured.
discussion.
No, but Shamsi was injured. So he got injured on the morning of the game.
Okay, fine.
So that's why he didn't play. But he was going to play, and maybe South Africa were planning on playing with 3 spinners. I don't know, but Shamsi was definitely going to play, but he got injured on the morning of the game. So
Yeah, I mean, he didn't take a single wicket as well. So
yeah,
3.
So 3. Yeah, I mean,
3 on 10.
he's a good player, right? He's shown that in the T20s against Australia, I think.
Against England.
Against England. Yeah, he got quite a few wickets there and bowled, batted pretty well. So he's got a future, maybe not in the Test team.
Yeah, 3 for him.
Yeah.
Rabada? Maharaj, yeah.
Maharaj.
Probably him and Rabada, South Africa's best 2 bowlers.
Yeah.
Babar Azam, the bunny of Maharaj.
It's only been 2 innings.
Straight balls. I mean,
it happens.
Once beaten on the inside edge, once on the outside edge.
Babar Azam wanted to be the big man and give Fawad the chance to score the winning runs. But yeah, I would say he bowled quite well. I think the track obviously suited him, but I think he bowled quite well. So I would give him a 6.5.
Yeah.
I think he was probably the second best bowler behind Rabada.
Yeah. 6.
Yeah, agreed. 7 maybe. Yeah.
7. 6. I mean, was not exceptional, right?
6.
Yeah, 6. He did his job. He got like 4 wickets in 2 innings.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, fine. 6 is fine. Rabada, South Africa's best bowler.
Yeah. 7.
Some handy runs with the bat.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I think he did really well in the first innings on that with 33 for 4 down on the first day.
Yeah.
So I would definitely. It looked very threatening. I think he was unlucky to get a few more. But I would definitely, he's definitely the most threatening of the South African bowlers.
Yeah.
I would rate him 7 on 10.
7, yeah.
7, fair. Just one point on him. Stats wise, he's right up there. I think he's the fourth quickest to get to 200 wickets, Test wickets, in
4th youngest,
balls, and 4th youngest as well. So right up there with the stats. Let's see how his career progresses.
He's right up there. I think underrated. He isn't still discussed in the same breath as Pat Cummins or the top. I think he's right up there. Especially doing it in Pakistan is phenomenal.
That's probably more to do with his ODI and T20 form.
Yeah,
is why he's probably not discussed in the same breath as.
I think a similar sort of bowler as Dale Steyn, right, who was really good in Test matches. He didn't focus that much on white ball cricket. So I think he's more of the similar sort.
Dale Steyn was pretty good in ODIs and T20s also. I mean, Rabada has had a very up and down time in ODIs.
I think that's also due to injuries. Like he had a few injuries after that. Obviously, it takes time for fast bowlers to come back and get back into that kind of shape, right?
Yeah.
So that's a little like he's still young, so I think he's got time to kind of.
He's got lots of time.
Yeah. Ngidi,
he was okay, wasn't he?
I mean, Ngidi and Nortje, I wouldn't really separate them too much.
Yeah.
I probably would give both of them. If we give Rabada 6, or we give Rabada 6 or 7?
7.
7 for Rabada, then probably 5s for both of them.
Yeah. Agreed. I mean, they were good, but not.
Maybe you can give 5.5 to Nokia just because of his 150 kph pace, only for optics. But
I mean,
that's
good to have. That's good to have, right? And I did see some of the highlights. I saw Ngidi get some lovely reverse swing.
Yeah.
So that was nice to watch. So maybe 6 for both or 5 for both. Let's keep it the same.
I think five is fair. I think we give Maharaj a 6, so I think Maharaj is better than
5.
both of them.
Cool.
So that's South Africa.
That's Africa.
Pakistan.
More complicated.
both openers 1.
Yeah.
I would
2,
give
1.
Imran, but a bit more. He took an amazing catch in the slips and a debutant, so I would probably give him a 3, a 1 just for a catch and 2 for his batting probably. So and he played.
I'll give him a -1 for the way he got out in the second innings. When you're chasing like 80, or why are you chasing one wide outside off stump when you've already lost a wicket? It was so horrible.
वो थोड़ा style मारा था लड़के ने 3 चौके मारे flashy. So I would different. I would give him at least a 1 more than Abid Ali because he's more experienced and he's not been performing.
We give QDK a 1, right? So we have to give Abid Ali a 1 also, and then maybe give Imran Butt a 2.
A 2 to Imran. And the other thing is with Abid Ali, I was just looking up his stats. He still averages 47 in test matches. But if you take his first two games out, he's 18 in the last 8 tests. So I think this is probably the second is his last opportunity. And if he doesn't like score 100, then I think we need to get rid of him. He obviously failed both in New Zealand and England, and now he's not even able to perform in home. So I think we need to consider our opening options.
I think it should be Imam Ulaq is the new opener, but he's just not fit.
Personally, I prefer to see Azhar Ali batting opening and putting someone in the middle order because I think there are a couple of really good guys who are not in the 11 right now. But
not Haris Sohail, please.
Not Abu Mai. देखना था Amran Rasool. He broke like the Pakistan first class record from 1980, like a 40-year-old record of scoring the most number of runs.
Well, we know how Pakistan treats people with good first class records.
But Fawad proved it, right? You need to kind of rely on them because there's nothing to rely on. So I think, and he's a middle order batsman. He bats at number 4, so maybe we can, if Azhar Ali moves up the order, we can probably put him in at 4 or 5. And Azhar Ali has a decent track record as an opener. So I guess When Pakistan loses a wicket in the first 3 or 4 overs, he's pretty much an opener when he's walking in after the first 2 or 3 overs. So not much of a difference to him.
Yeah, but I think Imam Ulaq will probably bring some balance if he comes back. Although he's not exceptional as well, but probably better than what we have right now. Speaking of Azhar Ali,
5, 6.
No, come on, 7. He got a 50 and then
played a poor shot. He played a poor shot. I mean, Azhar Ali is now the kind of person that you expect runs from every single time.
But he got a 50, right? And they were 27 for 4.
Under pressure, so I would give him a 6 for him at least.
6 is fine,
I think, under pressure 50. But he did his kind of job. He scored a 50 and a 30.
Yeah.
So nothing exceptional, but...
Actually, going back to Abid Ali, he took a few good catches at Silly Point. Plugging in a channel name as well, but still, I don't think it's enough to give anything more. 1. Babar Azam. 1.
3. 2, 3.
No, because he's a test match winning captain, so I would just give him a 3. Decent captaincy, because you have to rate his captaincy as well. So I think he did quite well with putting the right ballers at the right time. The second innings में उसने bowling जो है वो 80 overs से थोड़ा और extend कर दी थी, थोड़ा late ली थी. So a few decisions like that. So I think he did quite well with his captaincy. And the other thing I was looking at is obviously he's coming back from an injury. So he hasn't actually played a first class or a test match since England. So it's been like 5 or 6 months. So obviously he looked really in a good nick in the second innings. He was obviously got out just a ball before we won. But I think he looked good. So I would probably give him 3 overall as a player and a winning captain. But his batting was probably very much underpassed.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there are games where you get out to straight balls. There's no in that.
But back to back.
It happens. It's just part of the game, right?
But I think it also takes time to get back into the match practice sort of a thing. Thoda time लगता है आपको एक दो game लगते हैं just kind of. I mean, you haven't even played a first class game, so थोड़ा तो होता है.
Then Fawad Alam, the goat.
8, 9.
Yeah, I would probably give him a 9. He didn't do much. 109, very much under pressure. He had to prove himself, obviously playing at his home ground. But very impressed with him. And
quick question on his technique: is it worse than it was in England, or is it pretty much the same? I don't know. I've got to go back and check how he was batting in England.
Pretty much the same.
Now it's the same. Yeah, but he did in New Zealand as well.
Yeah, in Asian conditions, ball थोड़ी bounce कम करती है, so I think it's a bit easier for him to bat.
But I didn't. It's fine.
In New Zealand where he scored 100. I don't know how he scored 100 with this stance in New Zealand conditions. But overall, very good. Yeah, and I think the good thing is obviously he plays a lot of first class cricket. He knows this format of the game, and I think he should just focus on Test cricket. If he just focuses on
Yeah,
Test cricket, he play for next 4 to 5 years. He's still kind of like very very fit, very lean,
yeah.
and I think he's a player which Pakistan really needs in the middle order who can kind of like block it out and play those difficult sessions and score runs under pressure.
Follow the Misbah route, huh? Play till 40 and then become coach in the next 2 or 3 years.
Exactly. Yeah, my Indian manager was also like very interested. कहते Pakistan में क्या होता है? या they get people to debut at 16 or they're bringing them in at 35.
Yeah, that's true. I was exactly going to say this when we talked about Nauman Ali. Nauman Ali is 34. You've got Tabish Khan, who was in the squad. He was 36.
He's almost 30.
Yeah, he's 30. So it's either like
to play him in place of Hassan Ali.
It's either like all or nothing. It's either someone with lots of experience or then someone with lots of potential. Beach mein kuch hai nahi.
Because he was telling me that India can, I think apparently they have this rule that the debutants have to be between the age of 22 to 32. So if you cross 32, then you really don't have a chance to debut. I don't know that.
I have not heard that, but itna to hai that in India now, recently over the last 2 or 3 years, and we saw this in the Australia series as well, the pathway to play international cricket is really strong. You play a lot of A games, you play first class cricket, you play under 19 cricket if you get picked. And uske baad you come through, you get training from Rahul Dravid. That means something in India.
Yeah.
And then after
IPL.
that, and IPL obviously. So there seems to be a clear path. So that's why it's easier
you
to have a good
perform
coach.
at least, I would say 2 to 3 seasons in domestic cricket to get to the national team. Pakistan में होता है 2-3 matches अच्छे खेले, you are in Pakistan 11.
You're in, or you spend 10 years, or you play 1 or 2 matches.
Exactly.
This is the range.
Those things, right? Wasim, Waqar, they came at 16, 17, and they're still in that mindset. Which sometimes works. With Amir, it worked kind of, but obviously, I think that I would prefer them to play at least 2 seasons domestic. Uske baad phir tum national.
Yeah, it's definitely not worked with Yasir Shah. So
Well, and you could say in hindsight, it probably hasn't worked with Amir as well.
Yeah. Well, that's not to blame, but those are the factors. Shahid Afridi quite well.
Of course, we had to bring that in.
We had forgotten about that.
Anyways, back to
what else?
back to reality. So 9 for Fawad Alam.
Yeah,
Rizwan
8.
6. 8.
I was going to say that his keeping was outstanding.
Yeah, true.
And the runs that he scored in the first innings, he scored 33. He looked really, really good. So I don't know, maybe not 8, but 7.
I mean, we give Azhar Ali a 6. So how can you give Rizwan a 7? But he's a good, really good. Yeah.
I think Rizwan had more of an impact with the catch that he took and his wicket keeping. I mean, with wicket keepers, they're involved in the whole match. So you can, they have more of an impact generally, unless you score a brilliant 100 or something.
I'll give him one extra for his Shaji from the microphone, from the stump mic. So yeah.
Did you see his comments to Nauman Ali? Isko Hyderabad wali rabdi.
Okay, fine. 7 to Rizwan.
Faheem Ashraf.
For me, he's probably the most improved Pakistani batsman. I was really impressed with him. It's not just scoring lucky runs, but actually, I think his batting technique, and he's probably worked in the nets, right? I think he scored quite a few runs in New Zealand as well, and he looked really good. And I think he scored some really important runs. So I think his bowling was pretty. He's bowling at a good pace, but his batting is really improved. So I would probably give him
good. A quick 60 as well. So 7.
After a long, we have got like a very useful all-rounder who can actually bat and score some useful runs.
Someone who Hardik Pandya can get inspiration from.
Well, hats off to Misbah and Waqar to keep him around the squad, because I know we've talked about Faheem Ashraf a lot in our videos, but I know there are a few people that don't like him at all and that have trashed him a lot. And I remember I was the one supporting him and saying you need a player like him.
And I was probably one of the guys as well who was like thrashing him, because he really lost his way about a year ago. But I think the last 3 months he's really improved, so I'm happy for him.
For sure.
The last time that he did well was when Misbah was captain, and Misbah got him to open the bowling in T20s, and that's when he did well. So clearly Misbah has got some kind of connection with Faheem.
Exactly, that's what it takes. Right? Sometimes you need the management to kind of support the players, and that kind of brings out the best.
So 7 for Faheem Ashraf.
Yeah.
Hassan Ali, disappointing. He was okay, given he's coming back after like 2 years. And in Pakistan conditions, what do you expect him to do with the ball? I mean, to couple of wickets.
He was
He
good. He was
like,
good, but not exceptional.
yeah, he was like you could have put any other fast bowlers in the squad, and they would probably perform the same. So yeah, I think if he kind of continues with this, I don't see him lasting long in the team. I would probably give him a 3 on 10. Didn't look really that threatening. He scored some good runs in the first inning, so probably 3 or 4 maximum.
Yeah,
4, I think. Yeah,
four's fine.
4 is fair.
Batting ke liye,
Yeah. Yasir Shah, 8.
Yeah, 7, 8 at least.
yeah,
Has to
I
be
think
8.
he did his job.
I mean, if you compare him and Noman, obviously Noman got a 5-4, it looks very good. Lekin Yasir got the big wickets, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yasir broke the back of the innings in the
exactly.
Yeah,
So
he's
8,
the one who broke that as well, right? And it's not just about the wickets, it's about the kind of chances he was creating. Like literally every other ball, it was looking like he was going to get a wicket.
Yeah, after the Van der Dusen wicket, literally ऐसा लग रहा था कि हर ball, he got flat balls, almost LBW.
I saw one over, like he was looking threatening. We'll get them soon, and literally the next over he got like 2 wickets.
Yeah.
So
basically, it's now been proved beyond doubt that Yasir Shah should only play in Asia for Pakistan, and abroad, Pakistan needs to pick another spinner.
Or just go with 4 fast bowlers.
Or Shadab Khan kind of thing, yeah.
Shadab Khan. So yeah, 8 for Yasir Shah.
8.
Yeah.
The young debutant, Noman Ali.
Also, I think 7, 8, he deserves an 8, right?
I mean, yes. A 5-4 looks very good. But I think also said it in our group once as well. Like he took 5, but he didn't look threatening for a long time. He was just bowling, tossing it up. They were just blocking him. But he got 5 wickets. So
sometimes you need a bit of luck in cricket, right? So I think he was lucky to get a few of those wickets. But I think the good thing about him, and which is really important for Pakistan, is handy with the bat.
Yes,
so I think our team is really strong. He scored 24 runs again, which were really handy for us to get that lead over 100 runs. So I would give him a 8 just because he batted quite well and he 5 wickets on a debut. Dreams.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's fine.
That leaves us with Shaheen Shafii.
5. I mean, if you give Hassan Ali a 4, Shaheen gets a 5.
I mean, he looked quite good in the first innings. Again, there's not much for fast bowlers on a Karachi pitch, so I would give him a 5. I think he bowled at a good pace, got a couple of important wickets. So hopefully 5.
Shaheen ka masla, I think in New Zealand maybe it was the same thing. He starts off really well and he just loses steam like in the second, third, fourth spells.
Yeah, we forget he's young. He's still 20, 21, isn't he? He's 21. So time to lagega for him to build up that, that kind of body and consistency to be able to come back in your third, fourth spells and bowl as fast or bowl as well.
Cool. So that's the player ratings. What do you think about any changes? I think Pakistan, the only one we would have gone for is an opener change, but I think they'll probably give these two one last chance.
Yeah, I think
at least Abid Ali one last chance.
Yeah, I think that Pakistan should play the same team.
Yeah, I think they should play the same team. But again, the weak areas of Pakistan are openers. I would prefer to see if they fail again, bring Azhar Ali to open and add like a solid middle order batsman. Hassan Ali, I'm still not impressed with. I think he deserves another chance. But if they play Tabish, the 36-year-old, he's been bowling pretty well. Why not? Might get another 5 wickets for us as well. So I wouldn't mind seeing Tabish debuting in the next team, but looks unlikely. They'll probably stick with the winning combination.
And South Africa also, I think maybe Shamsi if he's fit.
I think South Africa can do a couple of things, right? They can probably drop George Linde and play Wian Mulder and drop a medium pacer, most likely Ngidi, and play Tabraiz Shamsi if he's fit. Or they could even just drop drop Ngidi and play Shamsi and play 3 spinners. But I don't think is Rawalpindi a slow wicket. Does it turn a lot?
It does, but it's a very typical Pakistan pitch where you'd see spin on day 3, but it's a very slow pitch, slower than Karachi actually.
Okay, slower than Karachi. Yeah. Maybe potentially.
What's South Africa's route to win the game? Like, how would they go about it? Like, do you think them winning like after this?
Well, they have to. I mean, that's really. And QD, I think we maybe not a personnel change, but like Uzi mentioned, swapping QDK for Bavuma.
Yeah.
I
The
think
strength is in their like top order batting, right? I mean that
yeah.
I think their
Because,
top
we
four
know
is equally as good as
if
Pakistan's.
Faf du Plessis gets stuck, like he can easily score a big 100. So if they get to bat first again, and if they get like a 450 sort of a score, that would be difficult to kind of for Pakistan to come back after that. So I think they need to work on their middle order batting. And Faf or QDK, they need to they're the senior batsmen, and Dean Elgar. So one of them needs to score a big 100 if they want to win this.
Dean Elgar might be injured, so then they'll have to hand a debut to another player.
Oh wow, really? That's
because
he's he got hit on the hand.
Didn't he get hit? I mean, there's no fracture, is what I've heard. So it might be that he goes on and plays, but if he doesn't, then they'll probably have to give a debut to another player. The only opener I can see in South Africa's squad is a guy called Saril Irvi. If that's the way to pronounce his name.
Or QDK, he opened in limited overs cricket, so maybe they might try.
Not in test matches.
No,
not in test matches.
You don't want him at 5, and now you're saying he should open.
He should open, yeah.
No, because they already are struggling with openers, right? So you might as well go there, get out, and then.
I mean, there are I guess there are two options. You could have Keegan Peterson, who I don't think is an opener. It says he's a top order batsman, so maybe he can open. But I think the proper opener is Saril Irvi.
Yeah, but unless it's an enforced, I think they'll stick with that. I think the only question is whether they play the extra spinner.
I mean, the only way that South Africa can win this test match if in their first batting innings, whether it's the first innings or second innings of the game, if they score 400 to 500, only then I feel like they have a chance of winning the test match.
And I think for them, the best chance the best bet for a wicket is still Rabada. They need to use him more, and although it's the conditions aren't fast bowling friendly. But we've seen this. We've seen this in the past with Pakistan. Like Broad and Anderson have always been England's best bowlers when they played in Dubai. Yeah. So I think it's the same thing.
I agree with that, but the point is you can't bowl him into the ground, right? You can't have him bowl 30 overs in a day when the other fast bowlers are bowling 20 or 15.
Yeah.
You have to use him smartly. And I think he's more threatening with the new ball. So they need to kind of initial spell can the पहले जो 30 overs उसमें ज़्यादा use करना है. If he gets like 3 wickets then they are on a good track to win the game.
Yeah.
And after that, Shamsi would be probably a lot better than Negi. He comes in, especially once the ball starts spinning after day 3.
We say that, but I don't remember the last time Shamsi played in a test match. Might have been like 4-5 years back.
Well, then he's perfect for Pakistan then, because we always love giving young spinners, inexperienced bowlers.
He's not young, but he's inexperienced. He's 30, I think.
Good stuff. Cool. So that's our episode. Let us know what you think. If you agree with our ratings, if we are too harsh, let us know. As always, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And thank you for watching.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.